Hi everyone, welcome back to Abrar channel. This book series we're going to talk about bookshelf review number 3. I have one dozen book which I am going to walk through now, and I will be briefing about the title of the book and what is the content it contains and so on. And more importantly, in future I will be dwelling upon all of these books more in detail, and you will get great insights from the books as such. Let me start from the very first book what I have in this part 3 of bookshelf review. The book name is What Smart People Do When Dumb Things Happen Work, right? So what smart people do? So this is written by Jaiko, and all the titles are very amazing. Let me read few titles for you. Chapter number 1, The Broken Campus. Chapter number 2, Unbalanced Scale. It talks about the accurately find the best decision, how to make the best decision and so on. The Applause Meter, The Fold Gold, and Shrinking Violet, Straggling Wine, Stalled Engine, and The Cheap Suit, and so on. So it has 13 chapter. In future I will be developing few insights, few lessons from this very book. Let's talk about the second book what I have. Interesting book written by Tom Peters and Robert, and In Search of Excellence, right? Lesson from America's best run companies, right? It has all, this is especially for the companies. It has many success stories, and particularly coming from America's region, which I will be explaining in detail. Let's see the content of this one. Quickly I will read it out for you. So it has 12 chapter. Chapter number 1 is Successful American Companies. Chapter number 2, Rational Model, and it has various other things like Managing the Ambiguity and Paradox, Bias for Action, Close to the Customer, Autonomy, Productivity, Hands-on, Stick to the Knitting, Simple Form, Lean Staff, and so on and so forth. It has various interesting things which I will be exploring and dwelling more in detail. The next book I have, very nice book, is People, and this is written by Dale Carnegie, and Unravel the Secret of Dealing with the People. Especially for the people management, this is the very nice book. Let's see what chapter it has. So this is unlike the other book, this format is slightly different. It has 4 parts. Each part has each divisions. For example, part 1 has got the big secret of dealing with people, and he who him, and so on and so forth. Part 2, 6 ways to make people like you, and all that. So it has various things which we will be discussing in detail. And the 4th book I have, Think and Grow Rich. Napoleon, full author. Think and Grow Rich. And once again, the content, let's talk about the content, what are the content has. So it has, how many chapters? It has 16 chapter, and the chapter includes the power of thought, and the starting point of all achievement, and so on and so forth. Right? So this I will also will be explaining in detail. Let's talk about the 5th book we have, The Power of the Plus Factor, right? The very nice book, and this is written by Norman Vincent Peale, and let's see the chapter. So the chapter includes the challenge of the dreaming setting goals, 2 words, 2 magic words, and so on. You can if you think you can, right, and so on. So it is also self motivational book, and the same author has written various other things also as well. The next book is, this is the one, title is little big. It is not how good you are, it is how good you want to be. All are them. And I think this book is slightly different. So you see here, it has the images, the color pages like this, and it is slightly different than it also has various pictures and so on and so forth, right? So let's talk about the content, what this book offer. And again, just like the other book, this also has various parts, various chapter. Within the chapter there are so many sub-chapter also as well, right? For example, why do we strive for excellence, right? And energy, do not seek praise, seek criticism. Oh, interesting. It is all my fault, do not cover your ideas, and so on. And it is right to be wrong, and so on and so forth, right? So these are all the various things. Again, once again, it is management books, and it talks about it motivates. It talks about self-motivation book, and which I will be explaining in detail. I am very excited to cover up some of the things along with the picture I will try to cover in future. The next book I have is a first aid, right? Very briefing. I'm not a professional first aider, although my certificate, I got the certificate but it got expired. It has validity for only for 3 years. But I'm excited to read this book and try to cover the basic of first aid. I will try to cover. For example, how to apply the band-aid, how to, and what is burn and scalds, and all that I will try to cover in future. The next book I have, Customer Relationship Management by E.D. Pila, right? So wonderful book, particularly like how you have a Malcolm Baldrige like this. This is another new dimension of covering the portion. And let me talk about the content. It has wonderful content. Each content ends with, there is something called case study, questions, reference in every chapter. So it has all the 20 chapter. Every 20 chapter has got the 3. At the end, it talks about the questions, and it talks about the references. It talks about the case studies as such. And let me read few chapters for you. The few random chapter. The effects of marketing activities and reporting result, internet and website, direct email, and so on. Let's talk about the next book. My favorite book is called TQM, Total Quality Management, and 5E, 5th edition it is, and I'm very excited. This is the latest book we have, and this covers up various things about total quality management, and its edition is Pearson edition. This is wonderful one. This edition covers various latest technologies and concepts. Let's talk about, and it is being compiled by various big people. And let me also show you like what are the chapters it has. It has, since it's a technical book, it has various chapters. Part 1, principle and practices. It has awareness, defining quality, historical review, quality movement in India, obstacles, and so on. And chapter 2, leadership. And again, in leadership we have dimming philosophy, ethics, and quality counsel, core values, and so on. Chapter 3 is customer satisfaction, and again it talks about feedback, focus group. It talks about toll-free telephone number, customer visits, and so on. Chapter 4, employee involvement. Chapter 5, continuous process improvement. Chapter 6, supplier partnership. Chapter 7, performance measures, and so on. So it has various chapters which we will be explaining in detail in future. The next book I have is Six Sigma Handbook. It's a fourth edition, the latest one, and very much it is for every green belt and black belt. This is the best book to refer, and complete guide for green belts, black belts, and manager at all levels. And once again, this book is pretty much it covers the DMAC approach, okay, and the edition is coming from McGraw Hills, and the brand name speak for itself. And then it has various things building the responsive Six Sigma organization, and then you have various chapter. And again, what is the difference between DMAC and DMADV? And again, once again, from chapter 6, it talks about define phase, measure phase, analyze phase, and so on. So each phases in detail it is there. And DOE, design of experiment, is being much dwelled in this book. I'm very excited to cover also as well. And also it has got a various thing like chi-square, F distribution, tolerance, and so on and so forth. So I will be covering some of the references from the very book itself. So this book we have already seen in the past. This is 5th edition, Juran. Wonderful, same like total quality management, and it talks about various how the quality movement happen and how what are the different concepts are there and all that. So I have covered few topics, but I will be covering more in detail. The last and final one for today we have is exploring the strategy. It is written by Jerry Johnson, Richard, and Kevin, and is coming from Prentice Hall. Wonderful book. It's a 9th edition. Why I say it's a wonderful book? If you wanted to learn the infographic, how to present the graph, how to make the PPT, and how to present the data to executive team, to leadership team, this is the best you can get the format. And everything is color printing, meaning it has a wonderful sequencing. Everything is in terms of simple XY chart, but more importantly, the infographic which is being presented is super amazing, and very excited on this to show. For example, look at this one, how quality it is. So the same concept, it is there like corporate line stuff and various things, how it been, the interaction matrix is being much in infographic way. It is been explained. It has got so much case studies and so much success stories of the corporates, which I will be explaining in detail in future. And this is all about the bookshelf review part 3, where I talked about 12 books, and I'm also very excited, very keen to cover more in detail in future. Till then, take very good care of yourself. Please do like, share, subscribe my channel. You have wonderful day ahead.